Welcome to the Home Group Podcast, where we discuss everything addiction, recovery, mental health. I am Flip.
And I am Luke. Our generation of men, you're not allowed to have feelings.
We're going to talk about things that are uncomfortable, things that are scary, because when you talk about it, you take away its power.
The only thing that's going to keep me clean is me not wanting to be who I was then.
We was in the trenches, now look how we out here ballin'. Pumped up in the max, now we
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Home Group Podcast. I am Flip. Clean date, April Fools, 2016.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I'm Luke. Clean date, October 11th, 2017. That's the right one.
Hey, tuned in. Super excited. We have a special guest with us.
We do.
This is my brother-in-law, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I'm Nick.
Nick,
what's going on?
Oh, yeah.
Excited to be here.
Super glad you're here. Nick's a new dad. Little baby at home.
Yep, 4 months old.
Best and worst thing that could ever happen to a man.
You can say that again.
It's exciting, but it's also fucking exhausting.
And
It's
terrifying.
exhausting. I feel like I'm an outlier, though. I was so scared thinking it was going to be really tough. And I mean, maybe it is tough, and I just don't realize it.
Yeah.
But I think our kid's been really good so far.
Nice.
You better knock on all the wood. Every piece of wood you see for the next 2 years, you better knock on that.
He's the
thing.
Home Group Podcast #1 fan.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he was the one laughing.
Yeah, there's reels to prove it. If you ain't seen it, go and check it out.
Speaking of reels, we just had our first reel hit over 10K.
Over 10K.
There it is.
It was a stupid one. It was like a remix.
It wasn't a fire truck?
No, that's on YouTube. That one is at about
12?
8 right now.
Why did I think it was fire truck? No, you just
because
sent me
you
the
don't ever pay
screenshot.
attention to
You
anything
sent
that
me-
I say to you.
You
and
sent me the screenshot.
This is actually a pretty good time to talk about it, I think, right here in front of everybody. You never listen to anything that I say to you, Flip.
Well, first of all,
And it makes me feel sad.
you weren't speaking. You sent me a screenshot
Right.
of our reels
Yeah.
and what they were doing. And you said
Yeah.
our first one was almost at 10K. And that one was at like 9 something.
Yeah. And then I sent you another one, and I said, this one is over, and it was the public speaking department of my brain, and it was a Chinese guy singing
That song?
nonsense.
Yo, what was up with that?
I don't know.
That was pretty.
I don't want to do it because I don't want to Shane Gillis this thing right now, but
Please don't.
I'm in enough trouble as it is with the religious sector of the internet.
Drop the shovel.
And I got something else. I got a conspiracy today about well, whatever. We'll get into it. It's not really a conspiracy. It's just a little something I cook up in my head. You know what I mean?
Sorry, the lights just shut off.
Speaking of religion,
Yeah, guys,
I'm dead.
turn the
Here
lights
we go.
off on us.
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
So we have been really heavy into recovery.
Yes.
The past couple episodes, which actually we didn't record last week. How you feeling? You better?
No. I'm
Perfect.
I'm messed up.
What's going on with that?
I don't know, dude. I feel like a snake shedded inside of my lungs, and it's there's a lot of action happening.
Okay.
But
okay.
I'm gonna try to not cough into the microphone
Okay.
because I'm a sweet boy.
And since we have a guest who isn't an addict, I didn't think it made sense to really talk that much about recovery, but we're still going
Right.
to touch on it a little bit.
Yeah, we touch on stuff like wieners,
There it is.
but our own. You know what I mean? Our own. It's not like we're over here touching each other's wieners under the table. I mean, unless you guys are into that type of thing, but
Is it touching if it's feet?
right. A little footsie sesh. I love a good footsie sesh.
Well, looks like he just fit right in.
There it is.
All it takes is some good old wiener talk
Yeah.
to get the boys to fit right on in.
Nick the Dick. All right.
Oh, no, man.
sorry.
That takes me back to high school.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I had a friend call me
Was it
Nick McBigdick anytime we went through the McDonald's drive-thru.
There it is. Oh, every time you laugh, are you going to cough?
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
I've been watching too much of that show, The Stand.
The
Or
Stand.
The Stand by Stephen King.
The
As soon as
Stand.
every time they start coughing, they die within like 3 days. What's crazy is that came out around COVID, so it was perfect timing for when it came out.
Pew, pew.
Throat gets all
Super
swollen.
contagious.
Wow.
Yeah.
That ain't good.
I had my tonsils taken out when I was 15.
I don't have tonsils.
You weren't born with tonsils?
Yep.
That tracks.
Makes sense. Makes
Really?
sense. Yeah.
How do you? Who's told you that?
Doctor?
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's been working its way over.
Oh,
dog.
God. Bless America.
My plan is in action.
When did you have them removed?
When I was 15,
15?
yeah, and I had I had an undeveloped tube in my ear. You know, them tubes be tripping sometimes, dog.
Mm-hmm.
And like they cut my ear open
That makes a lot of sense.
and they burned it shut. They cut my head open, they burned my tube shut, and then they took my tonsils out. And then they sent me home with a big bottle of liquid hydrocodone.
Love that.
And that was the first time. I know we're not doing like a recovery episode, but that was the first time like I ever realized like I'm all the way in.
Can I tell you a story
Yeah.
involving that exact same bottle
Yeah.
of liquid
Of course.
of liquid hydrocodone?
Of course.
So I was 21 and I
Yeah.
was dating a like good girl, right? And I'm
Yeah.
in the height of my addiction.
White girl.
What?
I mean, I don't see
Huh?
I don't see the
No, I'm
the-
just saying.
I mean, yes, but I don't see
Okay.
the
Well,
relevance.
I mean, hey, if the dots
And-
align, I mean, I'm not. It's not like I was saying.
and
It was a question.
it was Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
I was dope sick.
Yeah.
And we had just gotten a puppy,
Yeah.
right? And we were staying the night at her mom's house, and her mom, super religious. She had to sleep in a bedroom. I had to sleep in like her office,
Yeah.
right? And the dog's in the crate in the room with me, and I'm so dope sick.
Yeah. Of course.
And the dog's like coming to the cage and is yip 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 yip. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I'm like, fuck, like just go to sleep. You know, it's the middle of the night. Everybody's asleep.
Just die already.
Like, what do you want? I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything.
And the dog, and keep in mind, the dog is this big. Okay. And that's going to
Hang on.
you're going to understand.
Okay.
Okay.
It's really low tolerance.
The dog backs its butt up to the cage and spray shits. Oh. And when I say spray shits, I'm not talking like I'm talking a pile. Keep in mind, dog's this big. A pile all over a Persian rug in the office.
Out of the cage?
Out of the cage.
Fucking weapons grade missiles.
It looked like an exorcism out of this dog's butthole. Okay? And so I am like, it's all over this Persian rug.
Yeah.
I'm dope sick. I don't know what to do. I pick up the crate. There's shit dripping. Okay? And I run out to the front yard.
What a mess.
Middle of the night.
Yeah.
I open the crate.
Yeah.
Dog takes off running.
Yeah.
Okay? And she lived on this
course.
the longest, the stupidest neighborhood I've ever seen. It's one straight road. That's it.
Yeah.
It's one cul-de-sac, but it's forever.
Yeah.
Dog runs. I'm in my boxers,
You got to go.
running down the street,
American History X.
dope sick, right? And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, finally get this dog. I go back inside. I'm looking at this pool
Yeah.
of number 2 of doo-doo, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it was so bad. I'm talking about paper towels ain't doing this. I
Yeah.
went to get cardboard to
Yeah.
scoop, right?
Yeah.
So I get the cardboard, I scoop. I'm like, all right, I got to find cleaner. So I'm in the kitchen. I see the biggest bottle of liquid hydrocodone I've ever seen in my entire life.
Under the kitchen counter?
Saved.
No, it was just in, like I was looking everywhere in the kitchen. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You're saved.
And I said,
Yeah.
oh my God.
All my prayers have been answered.
I thanked the dog.
You went and shit right where all the fucking shit was on the floor. You just
I
cleaned
chugged
up.
3/4 of that bottle.
Yeah.
And was completely fine. And then I went and woke up my girlfriend and said, hey, the dog shit everywhere. Like,
I don't give a fuck though. Like, whatever. Like
the dog
like,
shit everywhere. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. And by the way, the fucking dog's gone. He's fucking in the wind. Like,
See,
Yo,
saying you found it in the kitchen. This brings up a debate I've had with my wife a few times.
Here we go.
Since we started dating, really.
Here we go.
So, she keeps medicine and shit in the kitchen. Now, is that a normal thing? Because you just said you found.
Yeah, like in our kitchen, we have like, all the medicine. Like if anybody has like antibiotics or like Tylenol.
Growing up, you keep it in the medicine cabinet.
Yeah,
in the
I think
bathroom.
that's like but I think the medicine cabinet has become more like a name brand thing, like Band-Aid is. You know how like everybody calls bandages Band-Aids.
Dude, when Jazz first moved in with me in our first apartment, and I opened up the kitchen drawer, and it's filled with medicine, I was like, "What the fuck is all this?" Like,
yeah,
this goes in the bathroom, in this cabinet. I had to show her what the medicine cabinet was. Now, she explained to me it goes back to how she was raised, and you both know, her mom. So,
yeah,
nothing in the house makes sense.
Yeah,
we got medicine all over my house.
that tracks.
Yeah,
That tracks.
there's medicine everywhere.
But like if you look at like my house now, there is no medicine cabinet.
I'm a
in any bathroom.
compartmentalized person.
That
makes
sense.
Yeah,
That makes
that
sense.
tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We don't have any medicine in the medicine cabinet. We have. What the fuck do we got in there? I don't even know if I've ever been in there. I'm not even sure if I've ever opened up that mirror. There could be all kinds of shit in there.
There could be all kinds of materials.
All kinds of fucking different
stuff.
Yeah, stuff, dude. I love stuff.
Treasure hunt when you
Get
go
my
home.
fingers on that stuff.
I can tell you're already itching just thinking about it.
Golly.
God bless it. So I was talking to Nick prior to, and I was like, listen, I know you're not an addict like Luke and I, but like,
Yeah.
if you have any questions or anything that you want to talk about.
Yeah.
And he has something about his uncle, I guess. Well, at least I hope that's what he wants to talk about, because if not, I just put him on blast.
Uncle.
What's
His name?
I won't throw names out there.
Okay,
but
that's
Let's just
real.
call him Unc.
Unc.
Yeah.
Okay.
So tell us about old Unc.
Yeah, I have an uncle who, I don't know his preferences, but I've been told the story goes that he was doing pretty good, pretty normal guy. He actually lived up in Canada for a while.
Shout
when
out
I was
Canada.
younger.
Shout out Canada. We
Yeah.
got some listeners in Canada.
Yeah, we do.
He has had a lot of personal tragedy from what I've been told. I guess his wife left him, and then the stepson that he really cared about from that marriage passed away in a car accident. And then he moved to New York for a bit. Don't know too much about his life there. But then he came here.
So he
And
was
I'm-
clean during all that
Yeah,
other
he
stuff?
was a clean person.
And then he came to Florida.
Yeah, it was
That's
Florida combined with some personal tragedy can lead you down a path.
Dude, Florida's a meat grinder. Okay.
And
Ew.
this all took place too. They lived down in Northport, Inglewood, and this was like
Say
shout
what?
out, shout out
was like
North Eagle Pass, baby.
That's the man-eater
2000s,
capital.
late 2000s,
Yeah.
early to mid 2010s. So there's nothing there.
That was
now there's something.
prime.
Yeah, that was prime
Yeah,
time.
that's
That's
prime.
Pill Mill days. That was
You
prime
had
time.
racetrack and some neighborhoods, and that's
Yeah.
all you really had down there.
You could get your hair cut, your oil changed, get high, and get your toes done all in the same spot.
Yeah.
I
Right
got
there.
you. Just remind me of my second story to
Okay.
not.
I told you.
Yeah, he fell into the wrong crowd, and then when I was like 23, I started to get caught up to speed on what was going on with him, and my family deals with bad situations through humor. And the first time I found out what was going on, I was getting ready to go to my aunt's house because he lives with her, and she goes, "I just want you to let you know, don't shake your uncle's hand or anything. Be careful around him, because he has HIV." But they that's just how they deal with things. They joke
Yeah.
about it.
Wait, so he doesn't have HIV?
So that was a joke.
No, he does. They're like, just don't touch Uncle. No, you don't, we don't want you contacting any of that. So all he
Yeah.
ever did is sit on the sofa, kind of zoned out.
I have a question. And this is just so I can understand, right?
Why the fuck would you do that to me?
Was that,
Why would you do that to me? Flip, go ahead with your question.
so here's my was that humor? Was that a warning? Because I feel
Both.
like that was a warning. But I don't know your family dynamics. Because that seems more so like, hey.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
hey, just
My man's got that Batman Forever, dude. Damn.
the house in Virginia.
Got that from sharing needles behind the Winn-Dixie in Northport, I guess.
Really?
But then
Locked it into a... No shit.
See, you have
my God.
you have now fucked Luke up because he doesn't know now if if you're telling the truth
I
or
was
not.
sharing needles behind the Winn-Dixie in Northport, so I'm half scared right now, and then the other half I'm like,
What was that dirt bike? What was the name of that episode?
huh?
Dirt bike
Dirt bike hunt.
dirt bike hunt.
Yeah, I was
See-
searching for cigarette butts behind the Winn-Dixie, getting 6-month-old packs of bologna to make some fried bologna sandwiches because if you fry it, it's okay. And sharing needles.
But yeah, his life took a turn, and
So
he ended up. So these two crazy things happened at the same time. He ended up with a box truck that he claims his old boss gave him.
he just ended up with it.
Yeah, we don't ask questions.
Yeah.
We say, "Hey, where'd this come from?"
course,
Obviously,
yeah.
it's in the yard now. Where'd this come from? My boss gave it to me. Okay, whatever.
Where'd he work? Did he have a job?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
Yeah, right. Don't ask, don't tell.
If it's missing, they'll find it. It's a box truck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's hard to fucking. Yep.
So he was living out of that for a while, and he was driving. It's so. It could be a skit in the cartoon, honestly, because he got this box truck now. So he'd go to all his old hangout spots and pick up his buddies, and they'd drive around and just hang out in the back of the box
While
truck,
he's driving around.
shooting up and smoking, doing whatever they do.
You know,
mobile-
that's pretty common in the addict world. I rented a U-Haul actually shortly after the whole cough syrup dog shit debacle.
Yeah.
Long story short, I ended up one of the dogs had surgeries. I stole all the dog's painkillers. Not one of my finer moments.
Oh my God.
But
dude.
so we broke up.
Yeah, well,
But-
naturally.
How many
you and
daddy
the
pens
you and
you
the
gotta
dog, or
take?
you and her?
And yes, and I loaded up all my stuff in a U-Haul
Yeah,
to take from Lakeland to Sarasota,
yeah,
and moved down to Sarasota and just kept the U-Haul.
yeah. Of course,
I had the U-Haul for about
'Cause it's-
3.5, 4 months.
it's such a good hiding spot.
Well, I mean, it's all in one.
And
It's-
then you think once you get in there, you're invisible.
And
Yeah.
you can collect all your shit.
Well, but think about it. Nobody wants to fuck with somebody driving a U-Haul because you know whoever's driving the U-Haul, the last thing they want to be doing on the face of the planet
Yeah.
is driving a U-Haul.
Right.
Because that it requires, that just tells you, hey, this person's moving, and moving sucks.
Yeah.
So let's just leave
Especially
them
when
alone.
they see you fucking like just hopping out the back and brushing your teeth and then jumping back in, dude. Nobody's gonna question that.
Well, I mean,
at all.
it was perfect because I moved all my stuff in
yeah
to the back.
to the U-Haul.
Yeah. And then
You
it's like,
moved stuff into the U-Haul.
yeah.
That's like the opposite of what normal
Yeah, no,
people do.
it was my mobile home.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And I would pick up, fellow junkies,
yeah.
and we go cop.
Yeah.
The dope boys would know when I pulled in the hood because I'm the only
'Cause
U-Haul
you're
pulling in the
yeah.
hood.
Yeah,
They know what time it is.
yeah. How long did it go before?
Almost 4 months, just shy of 4 months, and then U-Haul.
What did that run you?
Oh, what did it run me?
Yeah.
The $98 I paid for the U-Haul, and then I dropped it off at a random U-Haul place in the middle of the night. And
Did you ever pay it?
7 years.
7 years it dropped off.
7 years.
Shout out that 7 years, dog,
Dang.
because that house in Northport would have got me.
Oh my god. Oh, God bless it.
I saw
Thank
the
you.
red lights.
Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thanks, wife.
Flip's notorious
But,
for not hitting record.
Yeah. So just so you know, that's not box trucks in the addict world. They're not.
Okay.
Uncommon.
He collects his bikes and bike parts in there too, and then he goes and dumps it off at my aunt's house.
You
And
know,
he's like,
the
"I
bike
need
parts
you
are
to
a big
keep these."
thing. The bike parts are a big thing.
He's
Listen,
like,
dude.
so what my aunt told me is he's like a bike repair guy in the homeless world. Like he's the guy
Yeah.
to go to if you want your bike repaired.
Damn, he's that.
Fucking
So
dude.
But then he ended up in the hospital after having a heart attack, and he got surprisingly transported down to Blake. And one day, my aunt called me and my sister because we were close by there, and she said, "I need to go to the hospital and check on Uncle. He's missing."
Yeah.
And we're like, "What? Like he wasn't in a coma, but he was out of it." And they were like, "Yeah, he woke up and decided that he was leaving." And then they ended up finding him at the entrance of it. That's about as far as they ever get. Because I've seen them leave a Manatee Memorial, stumbling around out front by the Starbucks.
Yeah.
and they're in their gowns.
Trying to get
and I'm like, that one's missing.
Mocha Frappuccino real quick.
I mean,
But
listen,
Butt cheeks hanging out the back.
he said, the next time this happens to me, don't take me to the hospital. Just leave me in my room. Like, he's just like waiting for the clicker to go.
I mean,
Damn,
I mean,
dog,
listen here. So
fucking-
I go back and forth with that, right? Because in early recovery, I remember riding around with my buddy, and I said, if I ever got that Batman Forever, that's it. I'm going out. You know what I mean? If I ever get that Incredible Hulk, like,
Yeah.
there's no. But nowadays with modern medicine, like, it's not even like
medicine.
a thing.
He's older too, though, so he probably still has that mindset.
Oh
and
God, yeah.
Other old health problems on top of that.
For
so
sure.
the other thing you reminded me of about the small town, this is the first time I actually encountered it firsthand, was I lived in a town called Bethlehem,
Pennsylvania.
North Carolina.
Oh God, I lived in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Shout out Steak and Ale.
It was in the
I lived in Bethlehem, Illinois.
Wait, what?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh God.
so this was in the belt buckle of the Bible Belt. And
The buckle.
the buckle. That's what they
buckle.
call it.
Yeah.
So this town had one plaza, had your grocery store, your post office, gas station, couple restaurants.
What a dope town
And
to
then-
live in.
It had like 3 or 4 churches. Now, when I first moved to
Tracks.
this town, I was in 6th, 7th grade, and they're like, I was new. I was from Florida, so I was interesting to people. But then they found out, they're like, why aren't you going to church on Sundays? Because the town's so small. They're like, you're not showing up at anyone's church. What's up? And I'm like, it's just like, I don't know. He's like, when you grow up in a religious town, like, it's just what you do. It's part of your culture. But when you come from a place like Bradenton, where everybody's doing their own thing, like, you might go to church, you might not. Like,
Yeah.
it's a tourist town. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's doing their own thing.
Yeah, you might fix bicycles. You might do
So-
heroin. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? There's
You might race box trucks.
yeah.
So I became the outcast there for a bit, and it was really weird. And I fell in with my neighbors. So I was 15, and my neighbors were these 3 sisters, all my age, who lived with their grandma. So I'm a 15-year-old boy. And
I like them numbers.
yeah, that became my sole mission for the rest of my time living in North Carolina, was
trick.
the sisters next door.
Hat trick, boy.
You do know
That
your you
was,
do know your wife's gonna be edited in this episode.
Yeah, and you're spinning that ring awfully hard right now, my boy.
I say things just for her. And what was it? There's nothing to do in that town, so drugs come into the picture pretty early in people's age. Like, that's the first time I ever smoked too, was there.
Yeah.
But do you know what the hot guy couch is?
Yeah, it's at my house.
That whole house was the hot guy couch.
I don't know what the hog.
Oh. You
Enlighten
might
me.
not want to admit that then. No, I'm kidding.
Wait, what? What is it?
We'll get into that. I'll finish the story. So basically,
okay. All right.
these 3 sisters, you know, late 2000s, live with grandma. Grandma don't pay attention. They all 4 of them smoke in the house, cigarettes. The girls all smoke weed, and they have guy friends that are like 18 to 21. And at the time, I'm like, damn, these guys are cool. Like,
Yeah.
they got
these
everything that everybody wants. And then I got a little older, and I was like, wait, something's fucking wrong with those guys.
Yeah.
They're 21, 18, hanging out with 15,
These are
16-year-olds.
bums.
Yeah, these are fucking
They're
bums.
bums.
But they would bring around pills, and the first time I ever saw people snort pills was at that house. But it never like sparked my interest. I was like, this is like, it felt dark. It felt
so
dreadful.
Wild to me that somebody can be in a situation like that and not
Isn't that interesting
have it
though?
spark their
Is
interest.
isn't that interesting? The
is.
thought process, because like what he just said was like he thought dark. When I saw that, I saw light.
Yeah, I was like,
You know what I
I'm
mean?
gonna
Like
be-
that was the like
I'm that guy.
yeah.
I'm that guy
I'm going
down.
to the sun.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Icarus.
Yeah. Straight up. Wow, that's
yeah.
interesting.
I don't know. I just thought it seemed dreadful. I mean, like,
Good
even
for you.
movies about
Good
that
for
shit,
you.
like,
Yeah, dude, like
the movie
It
Train
is.
Spotting.
It
and
is,
all
but
that,
I was just-
all that shit's just dreadful to me. And
it's
but yeah, it was
so
the first
you're-
time I
and-
saw it, and I was like, Eventually, all 3 of them got themselves cleaned up and are doing as good as people can do in North Carolina, Bethlehem. But none of them are about that life anymore.
Damn. Not that you would know because you're happily married, but you know what I mean. Just hypothetically speaking.
Hey, there's social media. I keep in touch with. I watch everyone.
Yeah, nice.
But the hot couch guy is.
Wait, the hot couch guy
or the
hot
guy couch?
Because
hot
you
couch
said
guy.
okay, so that's where you got. I don't.
Did
I
I
have the
twist
hot
it?
guy couch at my house. It's something completely
Okay.
different from what you were saying. It's a couch that's owned by a hot guy.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it's the
No.
couch
So-
that when you sit on, you instantly get hot.
No.
Yeah, I'm always
So
fucking hot.
hot couch
wonderful.
guy is. I'll try to paint the picture. It's the house you go to where the lights are never on. The guy has a dog. The dog's always dirty. He doesn't give it a bath. The house smells like smoke. He's a single bachelor living by himself. He has a couch in the living room. And that's where he sleeps. The TV's on, but it's always on the blue screen unless you hit play. Then some random movie's playing like the Boondock Saints or something.
Fucking DVD.
This is
The
so
DVD.
weird. Dude.
DVD,
This
yeah.
was my apartment when
The
I was
Boondocks.
18,
And
minus
then-
the dog.
And
Boondock Saints.
when you go to him, you're usually going to him to pick up, but he couch traps you. He's like, "Hey man, sit down for a minute while I get this ready," and you just kind
Yeah.
of sit there.
Yes, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yes,
You just kind of
dude.
sit there not knowing what to do with yourself.
Yeah, come sit down. Let me play this guitar for you real quick. I've been working on this fucking boss riff.
You know, when I was 18 and I'd gotten kicked out of my house, and somehow I got like hooked up with this apartment, and it's actually the apartments right off of Lockwood and DeSoto. They were real nice. They were brand new, right behind a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
And I was
brand new anymore.
I was on the 3rd floor, and I didn't have furniture. I was 18. I wasn't buying furniture.
Yeah.
I worked at the Outback Steakhouse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A couple
And
bean bags in there.
For some reason, and now that I say this, you'll notice this. Like when you go to move into your house, right?
Yeah.
Nobody really has like a couch. Nobody really has a table for you. Almost everybody will have a bed for you. Oh, I got a bed.
Yeah.
You need a bed?
Yeah.
Right? Well, my genius thinking at 18, yeah, I need it. I need it. So
Yeah.
my living room didn't have a love seat. It didn't have couches.
You had beds.
I had beds. And I set it up like a giant U-shaped massive couch.
Bed house.
Oh,
You
God,
know what's
dude.
funny is
Oh, God. You want to talk about couch trapping?
The sleeping room.
Oh, Lord.
the neighbor's house is just talking about had both. They had the hot couch and then they had bunk beds across from it.
Damn. Yeah, that's
They
actually
had-
That's summer
kinda
camp.
dope.
They had
summer camp
blankets
right there.
covering the windows so it was always dark in there. I
That
mean, it was
tracks.
a surreal experience.
That tracks. You
Yeah,
can
I
usually
think
find a.
It's a coming of life experience that I don't know, you gotta have, I think.
Yeah, it's a fucking coming of death experience.
I mean,
down in
if you're like
Northport.
me, you just go in and you're in the situation and you walk out. Hey, that happened. Other
Yeah.
people go in and they get sucked into it.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I was stuck in that lifestyle for
I just
Long
wanted
time.
a long time.
I just wanted the weed and
Yeah.
the neighbors.
Yeah, true.
God bless. Hey, listen, I'm just gonna apologize ahead of time about this thumbnail we're gonna do because I mean you're doing a fine job of burying yourself already, so it ain't just it ain't gonna help. It ain't gonna help.
She
Oh, you
knows
got a
most of
banger.
what I'm talking about.
I'm really excited to talk about these conspiracy theories. I mean, I don't even think it's a conspiracy theory. It's just a little something I've been cooking up
Okay.
that God's a monkey.
Hey, that's not too far off from the other one we got. God's
Okay.
a lizard.
Okay. Okay.
What?
Hold on. If I was editing and if I knew how to edit,
Yeah.
I would cut
you
to the
cut that
beginning. No, to the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
Where you said something borderline like religious a little bit.
Yeah.
And you were like, "Nah, I've been getting myself in trouble with that lately online." Fast forward, God's a monkey.
Well, here's the thing, dude, and this is just my own personal. This is just me, right? This is just me. This is just my personal opinion.
This is not going to age well. This is not going to age well.
Speaking of aging well, you got evidence of us evolving All right, you got scientists saying that we evolved from primates, right?
I need you talking to Mike.
How do we know that God didn't create man in his image as a monkey? Adam and Eve as primates that eventually evolved into us, right? And that's all. That's just a little something I've been thinking about. You know what I mean?
This is feeling.
And that could
This is
devil
feeling
talking.
very, very Cat Williams.
what?
Just this conversation.
What you mean?
Have you seen Cat Williams at all lately?
Yeah.
Have you heard him?
Yeah.
My man is about
He's off.
1.5 syllables away from the loony bin.
Yeah,
dude.
he's off.
My man is off
But
his
he's so
own.
on.
You know what? Like a part of me,
He's
like
off, but he's so on.
I know a part of me really wants to believe him,
Yeah.
but then like he said shit. Like you heard him when he was like, "I'll run a 4.340 right now.
Yeah.
I'll run a 4.340 right now."
Yeah.
He could be handing out the
And-
Salvation Army on 41 right now. Then
And they pulled him out there, and he ran a 40-yard dash.
Yeah.
And I will say, for a man of his age, I was impressed.
Right.
But it was a 4.9.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's still impressive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, stop.
So you don't think that's not like you never thought about that?
Here's my
That's
only
something I thought about when I was a kid.
here's my only issue with that, right?
Okay.
And let's just take that theory for example, right?
Yeah.
That would then mean we would continue to evolve into something else.
We are.
What are we evolving into?
AI. Ant's not looking me in the eyes anymore, and I feel like I've done too much here.
Yeah,
and
no,
we might
you've-
have to cut a lot of this out.
You've crossed the line.
But I'm just saying that would appease both sides of the fence, right?
No. Anytime you talk about anything like that, there is no
There's
appeasing
no
both sides.
nobody's gonna like.
It's
me.
one or the
Nobody's
other.
gonna like that.
It's one or the other. No,
Why not though?
Well, I mean, listen, I would love for that to be the case, because this has just always been my thought process. Like, listen, you think we evolved from apes? Cool. I'm not smart.
I don't think that.
You literally just said that's
No.
something I've been thinking about.
No. I don't think that. That's not. I don't know. But I'm just saying. And you know where I'm at, like religiously speaking. There's
Yeah.
been a lot of weird, like gray areas since my mom passed.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm trying to get back
Mm-hmm.
into the graces. Right. And like things are. That connection hasn't been there
Mm-hmm.
with my higher power as much. So maybe that is why I'm talking about this now. But what I'm saying is I don't know what to believe. I'm just saying that could be a possibility.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm super interested about is two things. One, back in the day, and I'm talking back in the day, ancient Egypt time,
The
right?
biblical days.
In ancient Egypt, there was hieroglyphics, right? There was all that kind of shit. You go to the Mayans, right? And it's not like they're hopping on
They
their
couldn't
phone.
call each other on the phone.
They're not
like,
hopping
yo,
on the phone like on Facebook. Oh, let's see what's going on in Egypt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's see if we can draw that too.
And a lot of them have similar stories, like, stories of dragons.
Dragons. We talked about that.
Yeah. You know what I mean? We'll just use that for
Multiple civilizations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so my only assumption, right,
Yeah.
is that,
Aliens. Sorry.
I mean,
Go ahead.
when all else fails, aliens.
Of
You know what I
course.
mean?
Every time.
But I think it's just
Monkeys.
storytelling.
Yeah.
It's storytelling passed down from generation to generation to generation. And if you think about it, right, you get that one uncle, right? Say he steals a box truck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Travels from.
And like he gets like a group of like loners, and he wants to be a cool uncle. And that box truck is not a box truck anymore. It's a semi.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And is ruby red. And it's got a
And
button that you
blue.
press.
And it turns into a robot.
It turns into a robot, right? And then, that group of loners, goes on,
Yeah.
and that story is now dead.
In the Bible.
That semi that turned into a robot, that was really a fire-breathing dragon.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude,
and
I
so
got-
the story's just, it came elephant. which I
Yeah.
don't know why it's called Game
The
of Elephant,
fiery
because
ch-
elephants remember
The
everything.
fiery chariot in the sky. Aliens. UFO. Right?
1,000%.
Because, like, how do you describe a light back before there was electricity?
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah.
A fiery chariot in the sky.
Yeah.
That's what it says in the Bible.
Yeah.
Aliens.
1,000%. Aliens.
Aliens and monkeys. It's the name of episode 43.
Aliens and monkeys. Oh, God bless it. People are going to be so confused because the whole monkey part's going to get cut out.
I think there's something to religion to some extent, because I always thought all these civilizations that were spread so far apart from each other, and the one thing they all had in common was they believed in a higher power. They all had their own scripture and stuff.
Yeah, there is
That's-
definitely something to religion.
And I don't know what causes humans to do that, but it's something that was always
I think
my take on it.
everybody wants to. There's always unexplained things, right? And everybody, like, as humans, we are naturally curious, right? And so there has to be an explanation. There can't not be an explanation.
Right.
Like, you can't experience something and there not be some sort of answer for it. So
Right.
higher
It's
power.
like
Higher power.
I'm watching that show right now called Shogun, and then the
Yeah.
British guy ends up in Japan,
Yeah.
and he experiences an
Spoiler
earthquake.
alert.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Spoiler alert.
Well,
if
that's
you're
like-
watching Shogun,
It's like the first episode.
You know.
but-
Yeah, he
well,
experiences.
I didn't know what was
oh,
going. I don't know what was
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to come.
I'm going somewhere with it though.
Okay.
He experiences an earthquake, and he didn't know what it was.
Mm.
So take that into consideration. Like, all these things people experience for the first time back then, and they don't
Right.
know what it is,
Right.
and they got to make up for it somehow. It's like, have you ever seen the video that went around a while back of a guy hiking in Europe, and the ground is moving up and down like it's breathing, like it's real. And at first I thought it was like CGI, but I
Yeah.
looked it up and it's like, no, this is a real phenomenon where I said that word wrong. My pronunciation's terrible.
And you capitalize
But,
on it right there.
The soil's like really loose, like the trees and stuff, like they're
Yeah.
not rooted all the way. And I don't know if it's from like volcanic activity or something,
Or
but it
acid,
mixed- or acid.
LSD.
Yeah,
like-
maybe. It causes the ground to go up and down, like not an earthquake. It just moves up and down. And I'm like,
I've been
if
seeing a lot
somebody-
of those weird videos lately.
And like, if someone saw that
That's wild.
in the 1800s, they'd like, I need to write this shit down.
Yeah. And then
I
it
need
would eventually translate into
Monkeys and aliens.
monkeys
Yeah.
and aliens. And I'd be sitting here making a fool of myself.
They'd say it's a spaceship getting ready to come up out of the mountain and
Yeah.
go.
Listen, I have watched Men in Black and Independence Day 982
I'm
times.
ready.
I'm so ready to.
I'm so ready, dude.
I got my cargo pants ready to go.
Dude, I've
Okay.
been
I
practicing.
have my wife beater ready to go.
I made a plasma cannon out of cardboard just for the if by chance I come across one of these guys, I can rip the plasma cannon out of their hands and shoot the plasma cannon. So
Well, I got a cricket. You remember the cricket from Men
the
in Black?
noisy cricket, the noisy cricket,
You know what I mean?
Big Bang.
Yeah. So, Clearwater,
Oh my God,
Florida.
dude.
Clearwater, Florida. Clearwater, Florida.
All right, you want me to?
But I mean,
Clearwater, Florida.
hit me with it.
Nick the
Explain.
Dick. Take it away.
Explain what could be the creepiest town in America, hour away from here.
Hour away from here.
So, before we touch on Clearwater, we gotta touch on Scientology, which
We're really digging some holes.
No, this is it.
I know it.
I
know
never
it.
cared too much about Scientology. Like, I heard about it and like, it's whatever those people want to do. It's stupid. But to learn about Clearwater, Scientology had to be explained,
Yeah.
which was founded in the 60s by Ron Hubbard.
Yeah.
And when he turned, basically what he did was he read a bunch of books, that self-help books, and put it all into one and gave it the branding of aliens and sold it to a bunch of people looking for a higher power.
Giant
And,
flying spaghetti monster in the sky.
Yeah. And like all good Americans who turned 65, he got on a cruise ship and came to Clearwater, Florida. And he lived on that ship because taxes. He didn't want to pay taxes, so he stayed out in the water with his cult following of Scientologists, and then eventually they purchased a abandoned hotel, and they all moved in, and they just kept expanding on Scientology. This is in the 70s now, 75, and they got endorsements from celebrities and other
Tom Cruise. Shout out Tom Cruise.
And other
Shout out Tom Cruise.
other people with deep pockets because they needed money, and they purchased, I think it was 49 properties in downtown Clearwater.
They made Clearwater their mecca.
Yeah, they turned it into the capital for Scientology, and they cleared out all the businesses. This is still going on now. I'm jumping ahead, but they cleared out all this stuff. They kept the ships out in the water. They call it the Sea Org.
Sea Org. It's their navy, dude.
It's a paramilitary group,
dude,
which
they
means
got
they
their
play
own
they play dress up. They're pretend navy. But the thing is, that's like a human trafficking ring. Like immigrants and stuff who come here, like they come to Clearwater, and I don't know if it's their smugglers, their coyotes, or what. They're like, hey, we got this job for you. Here's the contract for it, and they don't know any better, so they sign it. Now the Church of Scientology has them. I shit you not, the contract is for 1 billion years, and when they pass away, they continue service in life to the Sea Org. So they have these ships out there with people that have volunteered and some trafficked working. And then on mainland, they connected their 49 buildings with skywalks.
Skywalks, dude.
So that they could move in secret. And if you do find them out on the street, because they are on the street, some of them are in their Navy uniforms, some of them are in suits, they'll film you and walk up to you and mimic your behavior.
They'll harass you
to make you feel uncomfortable and leave.
Yeah.
It's like some North Korea type shit. Like they got the buildings cleared out with fake decor and whatnot.
To make it look like a upstanding
Okay, time out.
town.
I've been to Clearwater.
This is downtown.
I've been to Clearwater.
If you go to the beach, you won't see it. You have to go inland, like to the heart of downtown. In 2017 is when they completed their project. They purchased $26 million worth of real estate.
Dude, Clearwater is like the NFL combine for serial killers, bro. It is.
Dude, and the mayor tried to do something, and they put out 3 different, call it hits, to ruin his career.
So I have so many questions about so many different things involving this, right? First of all, right? And I hope, I mean, listen, I guess this episode we probably should just call Burn the Ships, right?
Yeah, dude, we're dead.
Because we are dead. But I mean, since
dead.
we're already dead, there's nothing else, right? So here's my question. And this is merely out of curiosity. And I understand that, like, when it comes to cults, there is psychological games that are getting played and that are at hand, and, like, I get all that. But, like, when you look at something that ridiculous, like, normally a cult's like, hey, listen, I have a connection with God, follow me. And they're like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
And it's just a dude who, wants to bone everybody.
Wearing a robe with his nipples hanging out.
Yeah, real Jared Leto shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like this story, because I watched some of the documentary on Scientology on Netflix, because I'm like, I don't understand.
Right.
There's not much to understand.
Yeah, but that's what I don't get, because like it seems crazy.
There's people ready to die behind this shit.
I
So
know
what they do,
I know, but do you understand? Like my question is, okay, so spaghetti monster in the sky, okay,
Spaghetti monster.
a dude in the '60s, which we all know what was going on in the '60s.
Yeah.
Okay, copious amounts of drugs. That's it.
Yeah.
War, drugs. That's it.
Drugs and wieners and peace. You know what I mean?
More wieners.
it started off as people just looking for self-help.
They found it.
Yeah. Now what they do is they're not recruiting from the Clearwater, the capital. They like recruit from states where people have nothing to look forward to.
I thought California was the Mecca.
Like Bethlehem,
Yeah, like Bethlehem.
North Carolina.
People who are like, you know what, the Southern Baptist Church ain't it. What's this Scientology thing?
Yeah, this buckle ain't doing it for me. Let me go see what the back pocket's looking like.
But you have people, right, like the actress from King of Queens,
yeah.
that came out and is like exposing this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, here's my question. and this might be my speech for my candidacy for the presidential election,
Of course.
right? But
You
like
got my vote already.
we are so focused on like all this outside shit that has nothing to do with America.
Right.
And we have like this ridiculous dog and pony show going on.
Dude, what's crazy is like even the mayor tried to like do something about it and he couldn't. Like,
Yeah.
it's wild how far cults and stuff are allowed to go.
Yeah, but this is my thing, right? Like, who's their real backing, right? Like John Travolta. Like, what are you gonna do, dude? You gonna face off? Like, there's no CGI here, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want to know is these people with money, what draws them to wanting to support it? Because that's where it all comes. So that guy who started it died in the 80s. So now it's just been ran by people wanting to collect money. And that's the only way to move up in the church is by donating.
Yeah, it's a
large-
Ponzi scheme.
Well, and
Yeah.
now you,
It's-
it
it's-
is a giant.
It's Herbalife.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a giant.
Only it's not attracting stay-at-home moms.
yeah.
God bless.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit
It's
is
attracting
so. I want to.
Stay-at-home atheists.
I want to, right? Like sit down with like a high-ranking member of Scientology.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I mean, listen, episode 162.
Here's the thing. Once you get a couple big name celebrities like that, you can get anybody to do anything. You know
That was
what I
the
mean?
whole point. They learned that when they first started it.
Look at Virgil Abloh, Off-White. That's all he did. That was his business model.
Yeah.
Make a big brand, big logo, put it on a shirt, slap it on, you know
Like
what I
a
mean?
Prime.
A dozen. Yeah.
Prime's a cult.
Right.
It's a cult of perms.
Personality. A cult of personality.
Okay, but that's like Surge when we were kids. You remember the wave on Surge?
You
Yeah.
see the
People were
South
like,
Park
"Oh,
episode on Prime?
If you drink too many Surge, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Man, I drank so many Surge. Dude.
So there was a girl, I don't know her name, with that whole Scientology thing in Clearwater. They took her, like they arrested her. This cult, like arrested her, and they actually had like a court hearing, and they basically held her in captivity, and she ended up dying.
Yeah.
Of starvation.
that's-
I was
and
reading that's how they fight you is
That's-
dehydration. She died.
but that's called kidnapping.
Yeah, I know. She died, and then they got off. They did.
they have their whole business model is built on blackmail. Because what they do is they send members out to spy on people.
Yeah.
They'll like follow you around,
Yeah.
record you, like they dig up everything or they'll make stuff up.
I think we should go live in
I think
Clearwater.
I was about to say
Go live. We're
walk
right
around.
there.
I'm
Let's
here
go
for
to
it.
Clearwater. Let's go live. Let's walk through and just see what happens. See what shakes.
Like, cause I have questions.
I mean, what's the worst they can do if you just go up and start shaking on the
Appar-
door handles?
Apparently, they can hold you in captivity and starve you and dehydrate you.
Hey,
Put
if
you
I-
in the brig.
if I go, there's
on the
three of
Sea
us.
Org.
But like, I mean, so I still can't. In this day and age, I just can't wrap my head around it. Like, it doesn't make sense.
To that scale, too, a whole town.
Entire town, dude.
I haven't been down there. Like, I've been to Clearwater, but I never leave the beach, which is where the tourists are at. But I have heard if you walk in, there's videos on YouTube of it, too. If you walk inland to main downtown, is dead. And the thing is, like, the reason they were able to buy out these businesses in 2017 is because there was no business left for them. So the people that owned the shops were like, well, what else we got?
Yeah, they gotta sell because there's nobody there. No,
This is mind blowing, dude.
it's wild, dude.
This is mind blowing. You know what I mean? Because we're so focused on like other shit. Like, why is nobody just like, you know what? How many ships do they have?
That's a good question.
How many ships do they have? How many ships could they possibly have?
Yeah, what's a Sea Org ship look like?
I want to know what they spend their whole day doing. That they need
that?
a team of people.
What's up, young Jamie? What you got for us?
What do you got? Hey, pull that up. Pull up a Sea Org ship for us, Ant.
How many they got?
What's this here? What is this? What'd you send me here? What's this building? It looks
That's
like
the hotel. That's flag, or flag.
this is what is this? This is the hotel.
Yeah, it looks. I'm guessing so. You call it Fort Harris? Is that what it's called?
And what is
Is
that?
that the same thing as flag? Flag is like their flagship building.
Flagship.
They have it's an acronym for something, but I can't remember what.
So that's them. They got it there. There's some crazy shit happening in there. Could you imagine?
you imagine being a grown-ass adult and you're just like, I'm going to go sign my life away to dress up like a sailor? And, like, what point do you have to get to?
I'm in. Dude, next time you see me, I'm going to be in the Sea Org, dog. You call me captain. I am the captain now. From here on out.
I wonder what happens
Luke.
if they try to run away.
Like dishonorably discharged. What does that look like?
Like they're crossing the street in formation and one runs away and they just gun them down.
Yeah,
we got like run. No one asks any questions.
Death by hot sauce drowning. Now.
What's crazy is Hulk
Walk the
Hogan
plank.
lives down there, I think. So I wonder if he has any involvement, or if he's
I mean, that tracks.
or if
Yeah,
he's
I
just like down there being Hulk Hogan
I could
while
go
all
for
this
that.
is going on
I
around
mean,
him.
listen, not for nothing. If
Are
any,
you shitting me?
what?
Is that a fucking Class 6 destroyer, bro? What is going on right now?
Yeah, but that's what I don't understand. Like, dude,
pretty
with like
sparse.
our military, they're not that big.
Right.
There's not that many people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wonder how
this
many
is why-
members they have.
This is why
12,000?
12,000
That's
just
it.
in Clearwater.
That's it. 12,000 is nothing.
Yeah.
We had 12,000 people watch a fucking reel that we did. Okay, in the grand scheme of things, that's nothing.
I bet
Yeah.
your 12,000 can't kick their 12,000's ass.
I disagree.
What would be
I
really
disagree.
dope- Yeah. No, we got some hitters. What would be dope is
I
if
say we go
have
take
a
it over.
Scientologist that watches our episodes. Shout out, hey, anybody that knows anything about Scientology, please jump in the comments section and enlighten us.
Well, but this is why I'm so excited about the zombie apocalypse, dude.
Yeah,
Zombie apocalypse, dude. Because I am going to be a renegade.
of course.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh shit, my bad, Tom Cruise. Thought you was a zombie.
What
You
are
know-
they preparing for?
That's what I'm saying.
Clearwater.
That's what I'm.
What
You know
are
what
they-
else is a little fun trivia about Clearwater? I'm pretty sure it happened in Clearwater. There's a professional golfer who lives in the Hooters break room. At least he used to.
Shout out John Daly.
Yep.
It's got to be John Daly.
It's John Daly.
John Daly.
Has to be John Daly.
I don't know how long he kept doing that for,
Yeah.
but
I don't know who John Daly is.
John
He's a
Daly
crazy
is,
golfer.
is
He's-
the man of all men. He was
he's
a
peak-
golfer on the professional PGA tour with a cigarette in his mouth.
he's peak performance.
Hey, listen though.
That's
Listen
a
though.
uniformed Sea Org
I
officer.
am telling you right now, if I was like, Luke, do me a favor. I need you to dress up as like the dopest sailor
Gotcha.
ever.
That's me.
That's you.
Gotcha.
I had to do a triple take because I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
How did you?
That's
when
me.
did? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that tracks.
Colonel Crunch.
Like, who the fuck is taking that? Who's taking that seriously?
Yeah.
Who is seeing that? Right? That dude is coming up to you and barking orders. Are you telling me you're taking that seriously?
You know what? I wonder if it's a secret way for people like Tom Hanks to power trip and have control over people. He's like, you know what? I want to be like a king, but I'm never going to be a king, so I'm going to join this and pay to get really high, and then I'll have 12,000 people. who
Well,
have to
that's
listen to
that's
me.
their whole thing, and like that was part of the documentary. Is like they'll have these. So like if, for instance, I've seen mental health therapists, right? And you let off some shit, right? Oh, this happened. Oh, I did this. Oh, I did that. Well, they have those same things there, except they're recorded.
Right.
So then you get these people that go in that are like, fuck, I stole money.
Fucking, yeah.
I committed crimes,
I
right?
fucking
And then
choked the
now
dog out
they
'cause of
have
shit on me.
control over them, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if a dude dressed like that
Yeah.
is like telling me I'm in trouble,
That's laughable.
I'm laughing.
Yeah. For sure.
I'm
That's
laughing.
very
dude.
comedic.
That is mall cop.
Yeah.
That is a mall cop.
Yeah. Take
Navy.
your fucking Tommy Bahama shorts and get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like, stop. What are we doing here? I have seen you at every resort and hotel pool
Yeah.
hitting
Yeah,
on
dude.
somebody way outside of your league.
Yeah,
I
dude.
have seen you everywhere.
I just saw you at the breakfast buffet. We made fucking waffles together, dog. Yeah. Carl, it's me. It's fucking me, dude. Come on.
Yeah, dude.
The fuck?
You act like I didn't see you grab extra bacon
Yeah.
and tell me that if we take all the bacon, they have to bring out more.
Yeah.
You know?
Now you're trying to fucking arrest me.
Oh, boy. Wow. My mind is blown. You guys
That's
ready for
crazy.
this thumbnail?
Yeah.
You guys ready for
sure.
this thumbnail story?
I
So,
hope we don't fucking die when this episode comes out, dude. Oh my god, bro.
yeah, we might have to bring in a fucking Sea
I knew
Org
my
instructor
wife-
to.
I knew my wife would be editing it, so I threw in a lot of stuff
So
on
listen,
my end just to make her.
here's just a
Look at me.
reminder here. Everybody has their own beliefs, and we're not pushing any beliefs on anybody. We're not gung ho on anything. We're not making fun of any religions. It's just interesting to us, and we like to talk about it, right?
No, I'm
Right?
making
Are
fun
we
of
all-
Scientology.
No. We're not though.
Okay.
We're not doing that. Don't stop doing that with your face.
What?
Don't do that.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Flip. We're seriously not though.
Just Colts.
Scientology?
Cults are weird.
I can't make fun of Scientology.
No.
Speaking of, I actually have a friend.
Bohemian Grove.
I have a friend.
I just watched the video on that
Who-
today.
I have a friend,
Me too.
real talking. I'll tell you off air.
Yeah.
Who I'm trying to get on the pod right now, who was born into a cult. You want to talk about a banger? I'll
Born?
tell. Yeah, he was born like his parents were a member of a cult. He was born into the cult.
Both of them.
Yeah, he obviously isn't in the cult anymore
Right.
and has no connection to his family. But a crazy story, dude. Crazy
Damn.
story. So I'm trying to get him on the episode because
Okay.
I am
Is
fascinated.
his name Eric Grant? I'm sorry. It's my brother.
Yeah. Okay. You ready for this thumbnail story?
Yeah.
Okay. This takes place in Bethlehem, North Carolina. Okay. Us three amigos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Three
We
sisters.
went to grade school together.
Yeah.
We went to high school together.
Yeah.
We got out. Okay. We're married. Okay. Kids. Okay.
The whole nine.
Hypothetically speaking,
Yeah.
your significant other's name is Wanda.
Mm.
Hypothetically speaking.
Okay.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Yeah.
Hypothetically speaking, Jazz. Okay.
Okay.
Sierra. Okay. We
Yeah,
got
yeah,
some
yeah.
kids. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kids between the three of us,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Half a does.
And
Half a does.
yeah. And we're just the best of buds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And we do everything together.
Of course.
And
Masturbation. What? Continue.
and it's coming up on Easter,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
we always make a big deal out of Easter. Okay, Easter egg hunt,
Yeah.
massive field. We'll say a field
Chocolate bunnies.
similar to like the one that's next to my mother-in-law's house. Okay, we'll just
Yeah.
take that field
Yeah,
for
yeah,
instance,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so it's always us with the kids, and we hide a bunch of Easter eggs, and there's toys and candy and money in them,
Yeah, well,
right?
it's-
And
yeah.
like we don't say anything that like we know where the money ones are, and so like when we go and we're helping, we're cuffing eggs,
Yeah,
you know
of
what I mean, and
course.
putting them in our pockets.
Of course, they're marked.
Yeah,
We got
yeah.
'em marked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we get done, right? This is a whole ordeal, right? This is a whole affair.
Right.
And afterwards, we go in the house, and our significant others are sitting on the couch, and they say,
One of us has a
Guys?
wiener.
"So,
Fuck yeah, dude.
no, dude, no." Okay.
When
And-
Flip says his thing that he's gonna say, we have to move the mics out of the way.
Yeah.
Just letting you know that. Got it
Okay.
for the thumbnail.
Okay. So our significant others are sitting on the couch, and they say, "Listen, you guys always make such a big deal out of Easter for the kids. We wanted to do something for you." So
Yeah.
they take us in the other side of the house,
That's
right?
So sweet.
And it is everybody that we know.
Yeah.
It is family members. It is uncles with box trucks.
Mhm.
It is friends from
Yeah.
school. I mean, I'm talking about there's a lot of people,
Big surprise.
right?
Big surprise party.
And there is a massive Easter basket,
Mm-hmm.
like the biggest Easter basket ever.
What's in it?
Okay.
I'm excited. What's in
And
it?
so we're looking confused. We're looking at each other like, what's going on right
Yeah.
now? You know what I mean? Like, we're asking each other questions like, how did they get it here?
Yeah.
Like, where was this thing constructed?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Where'd they get all the wood, the
And-
twine for this?
And they said, I mean, it's even got the big blades of the fake
The-
grass.
Yeah.
But they're massive.
Like tinsel. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody, all eyes are on us,
Mhm.
right? And you already know your face is red.
Yeah.
He wants to run away. I feel like I have to poop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're in bad shape between the three of us.
Yeah.
Okay? We have no idea what's going on. And they said, listen, wanted to get you guys something.
Yeah. What was it?
And they hit it. They have a
Yeah.
they have a-
Dead
all
man.
three of them.
Dead man switch.
Dead man switch.
Yeah.
And Wanda goes, and it goes, psst, opens up a little bit.
Oh God.
Jazz goes, psst, opens up even more.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like petals of a flower.
Three-way
It's like-
dead
it's-
man
it's-
switch. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like petals of a flower.
Oh my
right?
God, dude, a lotus.
And Sierra hits the last one, and fucking glitter shoots up, and all the petals go all the way down. And it is the entire cast of the 1998 Hooters calendar. Okay? One.
Move your mic out of the way, dude.
And just make a face. You ready? There it is. There it is. And that's that. And that's that, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining. I
Hey.
hope this isn't our last episode, but who knows?
Hey, don't join cults. All right? Don't join cults. They're silly. Cults are silly, and you look silly doing them. Okay? You look really silly doing them. So,
Burn the ships.
burn the ships.
We love you guys.